Oh man, it's time to talk about the bigger things in life, guys, and this right here is definitely one of them, the Idris Frigate. I've been watching some content on that thing lately, and boy oh boy, there's some big issues with it. And that's what today's topic is gonna be. I'm about to take you on a tour, and we are going to discuss everything we know about the current state and possible future of this magnificent capital ship. So let's get into this. The Idris has to be one of the most anticipated ships that many backers have been waiting for, and this took exactly 12 years to release, guys. And that here is the Peacekeeper variant, the Idris-P, which was generously provided to us by our fellow community member, Scale. He has been requesting a detailed video review from me, and I've been slacking off on the job for too long, so here we are. I am going to deliver what I promised. Now, the first thing that comes to mind when you see an Idris is the weapons configuration. There are three possible nose-mounted weaponry to choose from. First up is the size 10 mass driver railgun, which is currently the most useful ballistic weapon in the game, with over 10 kilometers of range, launching projectiles at 5,000 meters per second. The damage depends on the railgun's charging mechanic, so it can deal double damage if you energize the magnets for 2 seconds. This gun is pretty much flawless in its current function, so it's definitely the one you want. The second option is the Aegis Dynamics Exodus laser, and this is part of the Idris aftermarket upgrade kit, also known as the Idris-K variant. This thing right here, guys, is what I call the Omega laser. It's got a 5 kilometer range on the beam, which deals continuous damage to anything it touches for as long as you can keep aiming at it. The main strength of this weapon is that you never run out of ammo. It is entirely working off of your power plant, and the capacitors regenerate very quickly. This is also its main weakness, however, as it requires you to continuously chase after your target, which sometimes becomes impossible. Like in this instance, where we're trying our best to face up against this hammerhead over here, but our lack of mobility is particularly evident. It's basically impossible to actively track a fast-moving target with this particular gun. And all of those details are fine, but here comes the first real issue on the list. The Exodus laser is in a very unpolished state, so the damage we deal can be extremely variable. There is something wrong with the way it hits the signed distant fields on a ship, or SDF for short, so the hit registration is not working reliably. This means we can be doing exactly 0 damage to a given target if the laser isn't hitting it just right. To avoid that, you would have to frequently point the laser at different spots on the target and hope that you're dealing damage at least half of the time. Keep this in mind, guys, until CAG releases a reliable fix for this particular issue. Let's move on to the third option, which is going to be the Hammerfall Torpedo launcher. And guys, that weapon could be insane, considering that it is size 12 torpedoes, something that we've never seen before. Like, this used to be only exclusive to the Javelin, and now it's also accessible to the Idris. But the issues with the Hammerfall are so many, it's even hard to count. First of all, the weapon component itself has only about 300 hit points. This is such an unbelievable oversight by CAG that there is really no excuse for it. You can destroy it by just emptying a few rifle mags on it, even when the shields are enabled, guys. The second issue is that the torpedoes get launched all at once. The Polaris, on the other hand, launches its torpedoes one after the other in rapid succession, which definitely feels and looks better. It also gives them a better chance of avoiding collisions with one another, so this is definitely something you want. The third problem is the Idris-T aftermarket kit in on itself. There are custom missile PDC turrets, guys, in this package, which are currently absolutely darn near unusable. They cannot be restocked once the 16 size 1 missiles run out, they cannot be repaired, and they shoot missiles at incoming missiles. Yeah, you heard me right, guys. They're trying to destroy enemy missiles by wasting the few precious ammunition that they have. And they suck at it too. But at least they kind of work against small snub fighters. Kind of. But not really. You get the idea. Oh, and before I forget, there is also this unfinished, bugged out dual size 7 turret, which also has bespoke guns. Those guns cannot be exchanged, and their damage performance, if we can call it that, is absolutely astounding, and not in the good sense. They're doing less damage than a pair of size 4 normal guns, and guys, what's even the point in continuing this? Long story short, the Idris-T aftermarket kit needs a complete overhaul, and CAG has a lot of work to do here. And speaking of work, they're actually doing it. If you can believe this, the Squadron 42 Idris is actually being completely remodeled, guys. Take a look at those images from the May Squadron 42 monthly report, and you can clearly see, guys, the model is definitely looking different. There is a lot more detail. It reminds me of the Polaris. This is the level they're striving for. And yeah, you can bet your ass that this is gonna come into the PU at some point after the Squadron 42 launch. So next year we may get the best Idris experience possible after they've fixed all of the issues and the new model of the ship itself is in the game. Now let's talk about some of the other quirks which are currently causing a bit of a problem for all of you Idris captains out there. The power plant issue is definitely a big one, as currently this is the biggest spot of weakness for the ship, and in my opinion, CAG should make it a priority to take some stopgap measures of blocking incoming damage, especially to the back portion of the ship, as currently even one size 3 fighter bomb is enough to put our lights out. The second most pressing bug is with the fuse boxes. There is simply no way to swap out fuses, and believe me, I know the feeling of regret whenever I see something this simple that is that level of broken. And those fuses can break in lots of mysterious ways, including all by themselves whenever they feel like it. The airlock doors, however, are definitely fixed now in patch 4.2, so at least that's moving forward. Another honorable mention in terms of bugs are the staircases on this ship. There is a chance, like 30-40%, that whenever you run over them while the ship is in quantum jump, you may be ejected in space. Oh yeah, pretty useful feature, and guys, I know, you gotta get used to it. And those were pretty much all of the things in my list, so now it's time for me to say my goodbyes, and until next time, Aegis signing out.